The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, REALTOR SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. I have a very special guest for you today, all the way from Cape Cod, Mass. Katie Clancy with the Cape House Properties. How are you, Katie?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being on the program today. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to start with the first question I ask everyone, and then we're gonna go all over the place from there. Were you a child of like 5 years old, tugging at your parents' pant leg and saying, "Hey, how do I be a realtor when I grow up?" Or are you like the rest of us, where you just kind of fell back into it?
Yeah. Well, no, here, it turns out the punchline is I am a shitty employee. That's how really what comes down to it. And I knew I wanted to start my own business of some sort. And I was chatting with a friend who had a building and real estate business, not thinking I would get into anything like that. And I was like, I just don't know. I feel like I could sell a dog off a meat truck, but I just don't know what I want to do. And she was like, "What about real estate?" And I was like, "Oh God, no, those people eat their young and the bar to entry is so low. I'm an educated woman. I'm not doing that." And she was like, it was like, oh, present company excluded. And I realized maybe I was wrong. Right. And so fast forward, I got my license, started working with her. And then things got terrible, awful, dismal, miserable, lowest part of my life ever. Getting into real estate ended up for a short period being the worst decision of my life. Wow. That ended up being the best. But I got in 2006.
Good timing.
And yeah. You have no idea. Not only, so I was
I was there.
Here, bet this didn't happen to you. I had 3 kids at the time, and I was so smug. I got them all in school, thinking I'd have it all figured out, and kept my day job for a year, yada, yada. Yeah. Immediately got pregnant. I don't even think the ink was dry in my license. I got pregnant with my 4th child, little bonus baby.
Right.
And like, fine, we'll let it roll. That'll be fine. But then one bank collapsed, then another one, and then just it all came crashing down. My husband is a contractor, both of us in housing. We almost lost our house twice, which I can say so glibly now. I don't know if you've ever been in close to foreclosure. It sucks.
It sucks. And at the same time frame, we all went through, a lot of us went through the same thing. You know?
Yeah, nobody's talking about you pretending everything's great, and you're like, I can't even afford contact lenses. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was, yeah. And we had some devastating losses. We had that baby, and then we got pregnant again, which is weird because we were like, oh, like everything was bad.
At that point, didn't you just run away from your husband?
Don't touch me.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had I had 4 sons, and my wife was like, "It's you or me, buddy." You know, one of us are taking care of this.
That's funny. We have 4 daughters.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But if you do the math, you'll recognize I was pregnant 5 times.
Right.
So I lost.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
The last baby.
Yeah.
And while I was losing my house, I did not end up losing the house. Thank God. Thank God for charity. I took charity from my church. I took charity from a local housing assistance corporation. Right. I took money from my parents. It was rough. But at my lowest point, and I realized I hated real estate, by the way. I wasn't enjoying my job, but I had burned my ships. I now had 500 kids. I couldn't go back to my old day job. I had to make this work. So I was just so down, like really, really dark. And I had this epiphany where like, I'm not going to be the girl that lost her baby. I'm not going to be the girl that almost lost her house, that her marriage is falling apart. Also, I just don't want to be that girl.
Yeah.
I don't want to be defined by what the world does to me.
Yeah.
I want to be defined by what I do in the world. So I just grasping for straws. I had started to go back to church, and because I'm like, you figure it out, like seriously, such an attitude.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? Maybe if I just try to be nice to other people, they tell me that works. So I said, all right, I will just take a chance. I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna be a blessing to other people, no matter what. I'm just gonna be nice to other people. I can't figure my own shit out. I'll just help other people. And I started with my husband, who I had been so mean to, because I was miserable. And it's weird, like you start being nice to someone, they start being nice to you. And like, wow, that's funny. Wonder if I tried that on.
Around, huh?
It's weird how that works. I wonder how that works in business. I wonder if I applied that. Well, goddamn.
Right.
It is like money. It is an actual excellent
I could make it
business
rain.
plan.
Yeah.
I made it. And you know what? My stress lifted. I like chilled out so much. I suddenly loved what I was doing because I was focusing in every moment, not just like, I'm here to serve you to get the most expensive house possible. No, I'm literally here to serve you right now, right here today. And right now, right here today, I'm listening and I hear that you need to be in charge right now, whoever that. So it's a client. So I'm like, my ego has nothing to do with it. You're nervous. You're under pressure, trying to buy a house or sell it. Just go ahead. You want to be the boss? You can be the boss. Like, and then, we'll get there. But like, giving people what they need in every moment has become my secret sauce. It is so easy. It is so easy. It's almost always free. And it has turned, now I do $30 million a year. I've got a small team. I was Realtor of the Year last year. I'm fucking happy. Like I'm so I'm the happiest person in real estate. Google it. I am. It's me.
The happiest person in real. I'm going to put that on your thumbnail.
Go right ahead. That's who I am.
Yeah, there you go. I love
it. And my goal, quite honestly, is to make real estate the happiest industry in the world. Don't laugh.
That's good. Yeah. Why not?
Think about it. Think about what
we're dealing with. Generally, some people, the biggest purchase they'll ever make. It's definitely the most intimate, in my opinion, when talking about families, intimate person. I mean, this is where they're going to live. Everything you do is going to be.
This is where your babies lay their heads.
Right. So it is the most important thing you'll do. It really is.
So I tell people choosing your real estate agent is a lot like choosing an obstetrician. And I'll just let you sit with that for a minute. I mean, we are under the hood. We are looking. We know what's what. We see you under duress. We see you under pressure and in pain. We witness dynamics between families, couples, children. We see all of it. And you lose your composure at least once during the transaction. We're here for it. It's fine. You've got to have someone who has the spine, who can understand that they're here to serve, and they don't get their own lives, emotions, or feelings, wrapped up in whatever's going on, because it has nothing to do with me. This is not my problem. So
I am biting at the bit here to ask you a question that, and I went through a lot of the same things, and it's never going to be mirrored exactly, but my wife and I of 32 years have went through something very similar to you in the same time period. And I want to ask you this question because everyone that brings up that time period and went through what you and I similarly went through, how beneficial would it have been to have you available to you at that time? If you met yourself now in that same situation, how beneficial would that have been?
To have future me?
Yes.
Going, girl, I'm telling you, just look, this is where this goes. Yeah. Oh, that would have been amazing.
Right. And just said, hey, don't worry. Here's the process. Here's what you need to do.
You're on the right path.
Right. I asked people that, Katie, and then I said, that's what we do. Now, not everybody's losing their home or having problems in that area, but that's what we do in real estate with people. We are showing them the future. This is where you're going to be. This is where you're going to place. Now, everyone we talk to is a lot happier than you or I were in 2008, 7.
Yes.
Right. But ultimately, that's what we do is we lay dreams forward, right? We kind of place them on a path, that probably they're going to be the rest of their life or at least a dozen years or more. So I always say that it would be nice to be that person. And that's how I give back after going through so much. I wish I would have had somebody there just to kind of hold the hand a little bit and say, here, don't worry. These are all the things that you can do. But I always bring that up when I have that conversation with someone like yourself. That's a
Absolutely.
great story, though. I mean, that's a very moving story. So tell me about today. Now, you mentioned you had a team,
Yep.
correct? Tell me about the team and what it took to get that team together.
So I hadn't really wanted a team. That wasn't something I sought to do, but I crossed paths with someone in my office who we just, from a personality perspective, we're a good foil for one another. We're not the same. We're very different.
Mhm.
He really likes the back of the house kind of stuff. I like the front of the house stuff. We filled in each other's blanks. He joked, he said, I can handle you. I used to work for a woman who was drunk by 4 o'clock every day. I'm like, oh my God, I wait till 5 at least.
Right.
But because I am that all over the place kind of person. Yeah. So we work incredibly well together. So most of the time it's been just the two of us. And recently we brought on, we're like not looking, 3 could be a crowd, but we've brought in one person who really, really fits well. And so now we're carrying on like that. But that's the real estate piece of it. The team, that real estate is not a solo sport. It is a very much a team sport. You can't, if I have no problem, I love it when I'm competing for a listing against a solo agent, because I have the team. I don't do anything I'm bad at. So you can know that you're getting the best of everybody when you hire us, and you don't pay anymore, which is great. But that desk right there is where my marketing assistant, who's really my right-hand man, she's on vacation this week. And then my business is partnered with a construction firm. So we don't have a lot of new construction in my market. I'm a big second home market, but we have a ton of remodeling. And we have a ton of things that need to be contracted during the sale. So what we do is we carry those costs for them. We take 20% on the other end, but it comes out of the proceeds. So they don't have to, they don't have to spend it. They don't have to try to find, it is impossible to find a contractor or a subcontractor if you're not in the business. Especially, I don't know how it is in your region, but on Cape Cod, it's tough. They're on Cape Cod time. We're on get this done time.
Yeah, I personally, I couldn't find a contractor now if I shouted at the rooftops. There's an influx. This is all I'm going to say. There's an influx of people moving to Florida from the South that have a lot of skills, but they're hard to find, right?
Yes.
And you have to dig deep within the contractor that's too busy to work with you now to find that cousin's brother's uncle's cousin's brother's uncle. So, but that's what we do.
Yeah. So that's sort of our secret sauce, is that we've got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that team and on the contracting, and so we just handle everything. You tell me what you want. We'll tell you about how much money you're going to get in the end and how to get there. You choose a path, and then we just execute on it. And it's been going really, really well. Our clients really appreciate it.
Nice. I love it.
So, but anyway, I don't know if anybody on this call cares about that. What I really want to tell people about is how because being the happiest person in real estate ain't easy. Right. It's a lot of work. And because my goal really is to make real estate the happiest industry in the world, I would love to tell your listeners how they could fight me for the title.
Yeah, let's hear it. I can't wait. Let's go.
So the reason I'm the happiest person in real estate, so there's a few pieces to it. So I'm amazing at my job. I have confidence in what I do. I perform at a very high level. I'm an authority in my field. My time is managed well. I have great connections. Serving others is my primary focus. We already talked about that. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly learning and evolving. My life is balanced, and I'm in great shape physically, emotionally, and spiritually. However, I'm not special.
Right.
There's nothing magic about me. I'm not better than you or anybody else out there. I mean, if you want to hear about all the ways that I've failed and the things that, happened today that I didn't like that, I'm a real person. But if you're willing to put the work in, you can do it. And there's sort of 10 areas that if you can focus on, you'll be good. If you have like 7 out of 10 of those doing pretty well, you're going to be fine, but you've got to attend to them. So the 10, and I know we don't have time to go into any depth on them, but I'm going to read you the 10. And then if you want any more information, you can come check my website, LinkedIn, or whatever.
Perfect.
So confidence versus self-doubt. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, performing at a high level versus perfectionism. So these second things I'm saying are they are the enemy of the first. And that's what you need to watch out. So perfectionism is the enemy of high performance. Okay. Imposter syndrome. Just gonna let that sit because everybody knows it.
Is biting my lip.
It's the enemy of authority. You have authority. If you're ever not sure, look at your own resume. Like, read your testimonials, call your mom. You're fine.
Yeah.
Overwhelm is the enemy of order. Order is critical in order to have happiness. Loneliness is the opposite of being connected. You must maintain, especially in this industry where we're independent contractors, you must find a way to stay connected to people.
Right.
Apathy. We've all been there. I'm kind of bored. This isn't exciting to me anymore. I'm losing interest. You have to go back to why you're doing it and go back to service. Service keeps you interested. You care. You care about other people. You're wired to care about other people. So when you remember the impact that you have, you'll be more excited about your work. Growth. Complacency is the enemy of growth. So what does that mean? That means you have to be learning all the time. You need to get off the freaking rock and go learn something. Even if it's virtual, learn something. Get on a podcast you've never been on before. Meet new people, share ideas. Failure. Sometimes people are so afraid of failure, but if you don't fail, you don't learn. And it's not a cliche. Failure is the attempt to is an initiative that teaches you something at the same time that the outcome does not move you directly closer to your goal. That's okay. That's a moment that you didn't go forward to your goal, but you got so much learning from it. If you didn't, you did it wrong. Always do an autopsy after a failure. Balance versus burnout. Burnout's the enemy of balance.
Burnout's big.
It is. And so the key for that I tell people is everybody has a third place. You get home, you have work. What's your third place? Maybe it's the gym, church, a mountain you like to hike on, the beach. Right. Everybody needs a third place. You need to spend time at that third place on a regular basis so you can refuel. And then the last one is health versus sickness. Health doesn't matter, right? Like until you lose it, then it's the only thing that matters. So you have to stay healthy. That means eat well, move your body, do stuff that hurts every once in a while, or it's going to hurt anyway. Pick your pain. So those are the 10 things that you got to work on to be the happiest person in anything, much less real estate. If you can have 7 out of 10 going pretty good at any given time, you're going to be in good shape.
Sage advice. I love it. I love it, Katie. That's good stuff, man. Now, we just tipped the iceberg, right? I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg for Katie. What's under the surface there? I mean, dig a little deeper, and I know you have a book that you're in the middle of. Talk about that a little bit.
This is
intertwined.
This is sort of the guts of the book. And it's all about doing business while human. So through the pandemic, we by necessity 10x'd our adoption of technology, right? We also 10x'd our adoption and awareness of mental health and how it's not just like, I can't bear the victim mentality. Just if you haven't figured that out, it's not like, but worry about me because I have anxiety. And of course we all have anxiety. Like
my mommy yelled at me.
But if you can take care of your head and your heart, if they're strong, there is nothing you can't do. There's nobody you can't help. The sky is the absolute limit. If you've got this together, you're going to be fine. So my book is about leveraging mental health for fun and profit, frankly. And I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet, but it's going to have a lot of very actionable, very easy, not easy, but simple things that you can do.
Well, I tell you, Katie, I live in the land of gurus. I literally live 1.5 miles from Tony Robbins. And,
God, you do.
Yeah. And no, he lives on the other side of the intercoastal, though. I'm not on that. I'm not in that house, but that's great stuff. I mean, I love it. And I really look forward to your book coming out, and definitely want to let people know about that. How would someone get in touch with you, Katie? What's the best way to get in touch with you? So
the best place to come and get to know me and really talk to me is on Instagram, frankly, at the Katie Clancy. You can go to my website, katieclancy.com, and see what I put up there. But if you really want to see what's going on, come see me there or at the Cape House on TikTok and also on Instagram. And that's where you'll know what's what in the land of what. And that's where I love to talk to people too. Honestly, I would much rather DM you and have that conversation there, because then we can really get to know each other. Because, so.
It's more about the intimacy, not intimacy, but getting really to know each other and understanding,
Connections.
connecting.
Yeah.
Katie Clancy, the Cape House Properties, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. I've really enjoyed having you on. I look forward to catching up with you over the next 3, 6, 9 months. And definitely want to know when the book is available and see if we can't promote that for you as well.
That'd be amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Have a great week.
You too. Thanks.